to you all. My name is Lulinga Joel. I'm a student from Mbale in senior 3E, and I'm here to present to answer question number 3, which is given that A equals 2 pi the root of C over B. Roman 1. Express B in terms of A, pi, and C. So they've told us that we express B in terms, this is Roman 1. They've told us to express B in terms of A, pi, and C. But they've told us that A is equal to 2 pi the root of B over what? C. So the first thing, remember that when they talk about making a letter the subject of the formula, it means make that letter to be alone on a specific side of the equal signs, and then the other parts of the equation, on the other hand of the equation of the equal signs. So here in this case, we are going to make sure that B is this side alone and the remaining terms at the other side. Okay. So the first thing here, we are going to divide here by 2 pi so that we eliminate it and put it on the other side of the equation of the formula. So we shall have A. Let's first rewrite the equation. A pi the root of B over C. So we shall divide by 2 pi on both sides, divide by 2 pi. So that this pi and this one will cancel out and shall remain with A over 2 pi is equal to what? The root of B over C. Now after that, the next thing is going to be making this B over C as terms without what? The square root. What are we going to do? We are going to square on either side of the formula. So that we are going to put this one squared and this one also what? Squared. Now when you square, like if you had the number, for example, maybe the root of 8, and I've said it again squared, realize that you're going to realize that this one, if you get maybe the root of 8, let's say maybe the 2 was inside here. Sorry for that. Maybe the 2 was inside, and I told you that squared will have to be the root of 8 squared, which will be 8 times what? 8. And realize that this one will cancel out and the root will remain with what? 8. Therefore, in simple terms, this one is going to affect the root sign, and it's going to just what? Cancel out with what? The square sign. So that we shall have this one and this one what? Cancelled out. Then we shall have A over 2 pi. These ones are all what? Squared is equal to B over C. Now let's see. We are now going to try to put this square root in this formula, so that we are going to square this one and this item and this item as well. So that shall have A squared over 2. When you square 2, you'll have to get 2 times 2, which will give us what? 4. Then when you square the pi, you'll get pi squared is equal to B over C. Remember, our main goal is to make B the subject of the formula. In simple terms, we're going to make it stand alone. Now, what are we going to do next? Here you can cross multiply so that this factor will be multiplied with this one and this factor with that, the factor down here. So that we shall have A squared times C equals 4 pi squared times what? B. Now you are going to get A squared C equals 4 pi squared B. Okay? Now we are going to divide by 4 pi squared on either side so that remain with B on one side. Okay? So that shall have, let's first rewrite this is equal to 4 pi squared B. Divide by 4 pi squared divided by 4 pi squared. This pi squared and 4 pi squared and this 4 pi squared will cancel out. So that we shall have our next part shall have A squared C over 4 pi squared is equal to what? B. So you have already finished, but now to make it like well organized, we shall have the B this side and this part of the equation to the other side. So that shall have B equals A squared C over 4 pi what? Squared. Now Roman 2, this is answer for Roman 1. Roman 2, they were saying that find the values of B if C, if C equals what? 240 pi equals 3.14 and the A equals 12.56. So we are going to just get these values and substitute in this what formula. So that shall have our B as equal to, where there is A, we substitute with the value for A. Where there is pi, we substitute the value of pi. Where there is C, we substitute the value of what? C. So that our B is going to be equal to A squared, which is 12.56 squared times C. C is 240. Remember this one, like there is a hidden multiplication sign in the middle here. That's why we have to multiply it, because if you are to multiply times C, as you have seen around the, like there is what, like here, when you multiply it, you realize that that's how we got that's how we got A squared C. In simple terms, there is a hidden multiplication sign here. So if we are to substitute, then we are going to have to put the multiplication sign instead. Then we shall get it over 4 times, what's the pi? The pi is 3.14. But I've said that what squared, so we shall have power 2. Okay? Then we shall get 12.56 squared. 12.56 squared. It will give us, B will be equal to 12.56 squared will give us 15. It will give us 157.73536 times 240. Okay, then divide by 4 times this one. This one can also do the same. We square it, or we can just use the calculator. I prefer using the calculator in this case, and it will be 3.14 squared, which will give us 9.8. So times 9.8596. Okay. Then if the factors that you can reduce in this case, you can reduce them. However, you can also use the formula whereby you have to get these ones alone. You get the answer up here, then divide it by the answer down here, or you can cancel out the common factors. Okay. Then, or if not, since it has decimals, you can look at the decimal places on the figures up and multiply times the number. Like maybe if there are 10, there are 2 decimal places, multiply times 100. If there are 3, you can multiply times 1000. But that multiplication occurs up and down. Okay, so maybe the first thing, let me try to reduce this, because by 5 I can get 1, by 4 here I'll get 60. So I'll get 157.7536 times that 60 divided by 1 times 9.8596. So I'm going to multiply times the decimal points, the decimal places up here in the numerator, and then I realize that you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to multiply times 10,000, which I will have times 10,000 times 10,000. But that method, that formula only applies, like you only get multiply basing on the numerator, not the denominator. So if it was like maybe this one done with 4 and this one does not have, you don't have in any way have to put that maybe times 1000 because you're basing on the downer one. No, we base on the numerator. So when we multiply this, the upper one, this 10,000 is going to affect this number, so that we shall have it as equal to 157 point. The decimal point shall disappear, like, because these are like the decimal places just moved. So we shall have 7 will be 77536 times 60 over this one here will also be affected. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are also 4. So we shall have this one as a number unknown, because now these ones will cancel out, because if you have to put over 10,000 and multiply it on this one, the zeros will cancel out, so that will mean 98596. Now from there we can get the values up and divide by the values down, so we shall get 1577536 times 60, which will give us 94652,160. This is 94,652,160 divided by This is 98,596. So you divide by 98596. And when you are to divide, this one will go here once, then here it will go there 960 times. That we shall have our final answer that B is equal to 960. Don't forget to put the B everywhere. Yeah, thank you.